E é isso aí, NTZada, aconteceu. A feira de Portland 2024 foi um sucesso para o NTGames. O canal apareceu super bem em vários outros canais de sucesso de videogame. E eu vou deixar aqui embaixo o link para você assistir. Mas não só isso, a parceria com o Fábio, a parceria com o Fernando foi tudo sensacional. A gente trouxe o buff brasileiro, a gente fez o painel e a gente mostrou o que a Tectoy fez no Brasil na década de 90. Nesse vídeo você vai ver a saga do NT na feira, visitando alguns stands aí, visitando também amigos, alguns youtubers, o boné do NT girou a feira toda e claro, no final você vai ter acesso ao painel completo de Tectoy que eu apresentei com uma parceria maravilhosa do meu amigo Adam Korlek. É isso aí. Ah, olha o tamanho do stand da Atari. A Atari veio com tudo e ela estava bem presente nessa feira. Foi bem legal. NTZada, esse vídeo está em inglês e português. Ative as legendas aqui no YouTube se você quiser ouvir na sua língua preferencial. Beleza? Vamos pro vídeo! Aqui tem duas máquinas que eu quero mostrar para vocês de pinball. Uma é a do Guns N' Roses. Essa máquina eu teria muito fácil na minha Game Room. Pra quem não sabe, é a minha banda favorita. E aqui o Sylvester Stallone. A máquina tá super legal aqui, ó. O Sylvester Stallone. Olha a cara, que legal. A feira de Portland marcou a presença do PlayStation Zero, a parceria da Nintendo e Sony que nunca deu certo. Graças ao Adam Korlek, ele voltou ao público só por algumas horas. Incrível ver a volta do console. Olha o Fábio aqui comprando, fazendo negócio. E aí, Fabião, tá comprando? Como é que tá as coisas aí?
Oba, tô ao vivo aqui comprando,
ao vivo,
acabei de fazer uma negociação aqui,
mesmo?
ó.
Tá vendo? O cara já tá fazendo as muambas, né, mano? Olha lá quem tá lá.
Eu vou pagar agora, eu vou pagar. O Marcos, eu tô comprando com o Marcos.
Yes. É o Marcos. Marcos.
How much my pile?
Let's see. Okay. Let's see this negotiation.
Vamos ver se você vai fazer um good deal.
Exatamente.
Aqui.
Olha que legal essas tartarugas.
Não, né, cara?
Olha que sensacional.
Olha esse aqui, ó. Esse aqui é selado. Esse...
Oh, 900, novinho, nunca aberto.
Selado.
É demais, né?
Tudo é negociável, tudo é negociável.
Tudo é negociável, né, Fábio?
Tudo é negociável.
É difícil comprar e vender, Fábio? Como é que é?
Ah, não, eu acho que é difícil, não é cansativo, mas não é difícil não.
Não é difícil, entendi.
É cansativo, eu gosto, ó.
410, olha lá, ele fez por 410.
400.
Olha lá.
400?
Vamos ver.
390.
Deal.
Yes.
390, ok.
390.
Ó.
So, 390.
É 390, né?
20
Fez
dólares de desconto. Olha uma coisa legal aqui,
Olha
ó.
lá, tem uma coisa legal aqui.
Yeah.
PRGE? Olha isso daqui, ó. Isso daqui são caixas que vendiam seladas. Eles mandavam pra loja, selada a caixa.
Olha que legal.
Yeah,
Caixas seladas de games.
Ó, ele vai explicar lá.
We actually had a case of Zoop. I had a case of Zoop, and I opened these on my YouTube channel with Reggie.
Yes.
And we were like opening them up, and we were hoping they were great games, and it was Zoop. Like, Zoop. But Real Monsters is actually pretty good.
Então essas caixas eram fechadas, que eram mandadas pra loja na época, e são selados, jogos
olha
selados.
Olha isso daqui, ó. Selado esse jogo.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one. I'm gonna buy one. Yeah.
Okay.
So
E o Fábio vai comprar mais.
How much we have there?
We said 390.
390, 490.
490.
Alright?
E assim o Fábio continua.
Vou comprar um jogo, vou ajudar ele aqui, ó. 490.
Ele vai comprar um jogo desses pra ajudar o cara.
É isso aí, ó. E eu vou ter um jogo lacrado de época perfeito, perfeito.
Aí, perfeito.
Legal, né?
Fábio vai estar daqui a pouco numa entrevista aqui entre eu e ele, que tô devendo um mini Pode Mais Joga, né?
Fazer, né?
É isso
aí. Tem que fazer junto, né?
Isso aí.
E eu vou contar o dinheiro que nós estamos ao vivo aqui na negociação. 1, 2, 3.
Olha lá, enquanto ele conta o dinheiro, vamos ver se a gente acha mais youtubers aqui. Valeu, Fabio. Thanks,
Falou,
Marcos.
falou.
Thanks.
All right. No microphones, nothing today.
That's
no
right.
rigs. Yes.
I'm loud enough for all of us. I can project and make windows rattle, so we'll be okay here. I'm a loud American. It's okay.
How's the show?
Very good, very good. Portland is always a good one. Gives me a chance to hang out with you and see what you bring as well. And it's nice that we have just games and arts and the video games you can play, the arcade games. Always fun to see.
Is that good?
Oh yeah, very good show. Very good.
I brought some tech toys so people are seeing what it is, right?
I love me some tech toy. Trust me.
Yeah.
I do have the Master System 132, and I have one of those personally. But nice to see. I didn't know they had Street Fighter 2 on Master System,
Crazy,
so
right? Yeah.
it's cool. Even I'm being educated by being here.
It's official. It's official by Sega, which is more crazy.
That's very funny.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like, to me, it's like living in an alternate universe, because here in the United States, Nintendo ruled the roost. Nintendo ruled everything, but it's like living in an alternate dimension where, what if Nintendo lost and Master System was the big seller? That's what it's like around the world, but yeah, right out here.
I'll keep bringing more stuff for you guys. So
Okay,
you can see it.
bring all the stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all the stuff. Yeah, bring all the totes, all the backpacks full of games. Yeah, I want to see everything.
Always.
Always good.
Yeah,
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Chegamos no booth do John Riggs,
Stop someone and ask.
famosíssimo. E aí aqui você tem os jogos que ele tá fazendo.
I was like, well, that's what ended
See, and I do Shane Blue. That's like my other favorite, and that's her one as well.
also sometimes
Jogos
like
que ele
going to a
vende. Todas
convention
as
like this.
feiras ele faz mods de jogos.
You know what I mean?
All right, I think that works.
Hello.
Yeah, he's there. Okay, I have a gift for you, my friend.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
What do you got?
So that's the NT game hat for John Riggs. I want to give you that for so long. Right now, yeah, just thank you. Yes.
I know it.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit very well. Is this
Doesn't
like
feel-
this? That's how you wear it?
I think it's a little, it's a little uncolored. Let's say that.
That's right. It's a little transparent weed, as
Exactly,
they say
a little
here.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. We got.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, now we have a crew.
It's a perfect fit.
Yes,
Now you can't
yeah.
tell us apart.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
you got this.
Yes.
You put the glasses on
Yeah,
over here.
okay.
You don't
No,
have
no.
to. It's okay.
I have the, okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you
perfect.
very much.
Awesome. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thank you. Yeah, Reg is back. Can I get you a gift? Is that okay for you?
Yeah, sure. Only if you take one from me, too.
Yeah, so there's a gift for Reggie. All right, so now he has it. Yeah, thank you very much, my friend.
Oh, man,
Yes,
thank you, man. I got to put it on the last
I'm
clip here. I got a big head.
I'm a huge fan, and I've been trying to contact with you a little bit, so I'm
Yeah?
so glad. Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Here
Oh,
we
look
go.
at that. Okay, we have Reggie with
Representing.
NTGames. Exactly. I need you in the show sometime.
Anytime, man. We'll be on the
Yes.
podcast together. Just hit me up.
Yes, okay.
Anytime.
I'll send you a message on Instagram.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
Quero fazer uma menção honrosa aqui ao John Hancock. Infelizmente eu não consegui encontrar ele na feira. A gente teve alguns desencontros, mas ele trouxe a coleção dele de 1994. O que quer dizer? Todos os jogos que foram lançados em 1994. Ele trouxe todos, claro, os principais, mas estavam todos lá e foi muito legal dar uma olhada nesses jogos tão nostálgicos. Essa imagem aqui é do canal do John Riggs. Eu acabei não conseguindo filmar, mas olha que carinho legal do John Hancock no canal dele sobre o NTGames Brasil.
There was even a vendor from Brazil, and NTGames was there. Saw some amazing stuff at many booths, and so it was really cool to see that. And I wasn't able to attend a lot of the panels as being at a booth the whole time, but I did go to one. I'm going to share that a little bit later in this video.
E aí, galera, foi um pouco difícil para dar os bonés aqui. Tenho mais um que eu queria dar para Kelsey do Pink Gorilla. Vamos ver se eu vou conseguir fazer isso. Eu acho que ela tá para lá, mas antes de eu mostrar isso para vocês, dá para vocês terem uma ideia como a feira mudou um pouquinho do ano passado, né? Compare os vídeos lá, vocês vão ver aqui tem um espaço bem mais aberto e aí você tem todas as partes de autógrafo da galera que trabalha, né, com videogame, dublando personagens e tudo mais aqui. Então ficou uma área bem grande disso e tem alguns vendors aqui vendendo alguns merchandise aqui também, incluindo o pessoal que monta Lego, enfim. Não vou conseguir mostrar todo mundo que está aqui, Mas tem uma galera aqui. Então você tem Samantha Kelly, Super Mario Bros. Com o Kenny James. Olha lá. Você tem a Princesa Leia aqui. Princesa Rosalina aqui. Olha lá, uma galera aqui. Olha o Guilherme. Olha o Kyle. Tá um pouco diferente. Só um pouquinho. Resident Evil. The League of Legends. Olha lá. Resident Evil. Louis. Joe White. Howard Anderson. Tudo Resident Evil. Legal demais, né? Tem mais, ó. Colin Ryan. Final Fantasy é impressionante, né? E o cara que fez muita dublagem aqui, Tartaruga Ninja e tudo mais, tem até fila, que é o Cam Clark. Esse foi o anunciado na feira, que todo mundo estava muito empolgado para ver. Ele tá na TV do Carros aqui. Essa aqui é uma versão diferente da minha, mas é muito legal também. Aqui é uma parte legal de Intellivision. Intellivision ganhou também um bom grande stand, muitos mods, jogos novos, jogos antigos, comunicação dos jogos. Olha aqui, que legal.
Mike, you gotta respect. I don't mean like us. You gotta respect something.
Muito legal.
I just watched a band reset.
Tem alguns jogos que eles fizeram agora que não eram originalmente do Television. E aqui o Mario, que o ano passado eu mostrei no vídeo, tá com o Pixel Bros. Porque tiveram problemas de direitos autorais com a Nintendo. Então tiveram que mudar o nome. Ainda tem o jogo antigo ali, ele tá vendendo, tá por $100, mas mudou pro Pixel Bros. Aqui você tem um R2-D2 que estava andando pela feira, ele é de controle remoto. Olha que legal. Toda a parte de VHS. Ele nunca sabe o que ele tem, esse cara. Eu lembro da outra vez que a gente veio aqui. Ele nunca sabe o que ele tem. Alright guys, look what I have here.
Hi!
Hey,
I'm
Pink
Kelsey.
Gorilla. Yeah, Kelsey. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows you. So, how is the sales? Is it good?
Yeah, we bring a small booth here, so it's,
yeah.
you know, we honestly, I go here to buy more than I do to sell, but sales have been good too. Yeah.
I do the same. Yes. So I have a special gift for you. This, I think you bought one last year, and I was feeling a little bit ashamed about that. So I want to give you a second one. Yes. This is the NTGames cat. Yeah.
Well, then I will trade you. Oh, it's got
Wanna take
plastic
it
in
off?
it. Let
Yeah.
me take the plastic
Yes.
out of it first.
Joe and Riggs was using that thing, so yes. Look
Looks
at that.
good.
Yeah.
I look good in a trucker hat. It's good.
Thank you. Oh, really?
And then that's for you.
You sure?
I wrote that book.
Can you sign this for me
Absolutely,
later?
yeah.
Yeah, this is her new book. It's all about Animal Crossing. She loves it, right?
Yeah.
How much you like this?
Enough to write a book about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about the history and just like what makes Animal Crossing an interesting game.
It is an interesting game. Do you like the N64 version?
I mean, I really like the GameCube version, which is the N64 version functionally.
A little bit.
I don't. The N64 version is really beautiful
It
on
is
a
good.
Nintendo 64.
Right.
I think that's the best looking.
Yes.
It's just the most unique looking, but I don't speak Japanese.
Yes, and the controller doesn't help, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Oh, if you can sign that for
Yeah.
me, I can hold that for you.
Yeah.
If you want, but this is, I was looking for you because when you launched this book, it was a very nice launch in the internet. I love it the way that you did. So I was like, I want to meet her and buy this book. So now I got one. It's perfect.
I gotta draw.
Oh, look,
KK slider in there
drawing.
too.
I'll show you. She's drawing there on the book. Yeah. Look at that. With a draw, people, with a draw. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Jess.
no problem.
That's great. Are you planning to write more?
I would
about
love
anything
to.
else?
I don't
Yes?
know what the next one is
Okay,
yet,
yeah.
but I do want to write.
Okay. You're gonna see here in the NTGames channel. Thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you. Bye. Olha esse Olha esse Game Boy Micro. Tem um Super NT here. Olha aqui. Alguém pegou meu nome e fez um videogame, hein? Muito louco. Arcades. Todos customizados. Bom, e aqui ficou o corredor do nosso bus brasileiro, olha lá. Aqui está o nosso bus, ó. Então como é que ele ficou? Então a gente ficou em 4 lados, na verdade. Aqui os caras mais famosos do YouTube. Olha lá, mais ou menos.
A tua câmera tá...
Depois eu arrumo. Tô de saco cheio desse gimbal.
Tô seguindo o gimbal.
É. Aí a gente vendeu bastante Pokémon aqui, graças ao nosso amigo da Zip For Me. Vou deixar o arroba aqui embaixo. Se você quer trazer coisas dos Estados Unidos para o Brasil, você fala com o Fran, que o Fran leva para você. Exatamente. A gente ficou com bastante jogos de Super Nintendo, coisas do Fábio, e aqui ficou o Tectoy. Acho que vocês conhecem bastante esse cara aqui. Ah, olha aqui, ó. Vou ver se eu consigo mostrar. A bandeira da NT tá aqui. Soltou, preciso colocar ali. E o que mais ficou legal na feira foi essa mala da Tectoy aqui. Claro, a bandeira e tudo mais, olha lá. Camiseta da NT, boné da NT. Mas a estrela foi Street Fighter 2 para você jogar de Master System. Conseguimos uma televisãozinha aqui, coloquei no Master System 3 Collection e fizemos. E aí, olha que legal, aqui ficou toda a parte de adicionais que já foram embora, colecionáveis, um pouquinho do boné da NT ali. E aí aqui tem a mais Master System, ó. Tá vendo? Com a bandeira do Brasil. E aqui o Fernando trouxe bastante VHS, que eu levei toda a coleção do Rambo pra casa. Rambo não é o Rambo dos jogos, meu brother. O Rambo, a missão. O Rambo. E olha o que ele trouxe pra feira pra vender. É o playset Eternia. Olha o tamanho da caixa. E não conseguimos vender. Mas essa propaganda aqui tá sendo ótima. E é lindo. Mas não cabe no avião. Alguma consideração final sobre o nosso booth?
Eu não preparei nenhum texto. Faltou chocolate. Eu acho que essa feira tem sido um sucesso esse ano.
É. Por quê?
Não, eu acho que a quantidade de gente que tem vindo aqui no nosso stand aqui tem, sabe, bastante gente comprando, bastante gente fazendo perguntas, a gente tem se divertido bastante explicando sobre a Tectoy e não é só simplesmente falando assuntos nerds, assim, eu acho que esse é um dos maiores motivos da gente estar fazendo tá aqui nesse evento, né, pra gente se divertir em primeiro lugar.
Com certeza.
Eu acho que é isso. Foi uma grande ideia, legal.
Fazer de novo,
ampliar,
exato.
Fazer de novo.
É.
O ano passado foi muito legal e agora esse ano assim, com a nossa ilha aqui.
Ficou mais legal ainda, né?
Nossa.
Fran, vai virar parceiro então nosso pro ano que vem mais ainda ou não?
Sim, claro, cara. O ano passado eu fui convidado, não vim. Esse ano eu falei, vamos lá, vamos ver como vai ser. Adorei isso aqui. Eu acho que mais, além da experiência da venda em si dos produtos, eu acho que foi o contato com essa galera, o público muito legal, muito interessante o conteúdo, muita coisa que me lembrou a minha infância, né? Voltar mesmo no tempo. Eu era um gamer assíduo, acho que a vida me afastou desse mundo,
e agora tá reencontrando e revendo essas coisas, principalmente os Mega Drive que você trouxe aqui da Tectoy. Muito bom. Cara, foi muito legal. Qual que é seu arroba? Meu arroba é zip4me, arroba ZIP número 4ME. E aí você pode comprar aqui nos Estados Unidos, a gente manda pra você em qualquer lugar do mundo, inclusive no Brasil. Fê, qual que é seu arroba?
Arroba No Wait for Toys.
No Gente for Toys. Tudo sobre brinquedos antigos.
Tudo escrito em
For Toys. Beleza. Obrigado, gente. Valeu. Mas por enquanto eu vou me preparar, porque tem o painel e vocês vão conferir ele aí daqui a pouquinho. Beleza? É isso aí. NTZada. Vamos que vamos, porque estamos na feira de Portland em 2024 novamente. E aí, Fabião? Como é que foi essa feira?
Tranquilo, graças a Deus, cara. Tranquilo, correria, né?
Fábio foi um grande parceiro desde a outra vez que a gente fez a feira. É um cara que eu sabia que a gente ia poder fazer essa parceria.
Com certeza.
Resolvemos repetir de novo. Né?
Ano que vem?
Vamos repetir de novo ano que vem.
De novo?
E...
estaremos aqui, com certeza.
E deu certo, né? Eu achei que foi melhor do que o ano passado.
Foi melhor do que o ano passado. Esse ano também tivemos várias visitas, vários brasileiros, né?
Exato.
Que é um negócio muito legal. Inclusive, se você quiser ver o ano que vem, por favor, passe na nossa mesa, dê um alô. É muito legal, acho que isso faz total diferença.
Faz total diferença. O Fábio, para quem não sabe, ele é o Seattle Games aqui. Todo mundo conhece ele como Seattle Games. Ele roda todas as lojas, ele fala com o pessoal do Brasil, vê se eles querem alguma coisa e ele acaba mandando pro pessoal de lá o que o pessoal acha aqui de games, né? Então você tá meio que ajudando a nossa economia no Brasil, né? A ter mais games.
Exatamente,
assim.
Né? E quando eu comecei isso, vou falar pra você da minha ideia inicial, na verdade foi uma semana que tava nevando muito lá em Kirkland, que é onde eu moro, do lado de Seattle. E tava nevando demais e eu não tinha o que fazer, eu comecei a ver o YouTube e vi um youtuber brasileiro.
Fazendo isso?
O Rony Louco.
Ah, o Rony Louco.
O Rony Louco. Abraço ao Rony. E eu vi ele falando de videogame e tal, das feirinhas de caçada, eu falei, cara, eu consigo achar essas coisas aqui. E aí eu comecei a entrar em grupos, ver que a galera tinha uma dificuldade de achar jogos. E eu criei a Seattle Games, né? Mas com o intuito de ajudar as pessoas. E isso se tornou grande, porque hoje em dia eu consigo ajudar muitos colecionadores.
Com certeza.
Alguns revendedores também me procuram. Né? E o meu slogan é: dê um up na sua coleção.
Exatamente.
Essa é a ideia, né?
Não, e aí ele faz essa venda, fala com a galera daqui enquanto tá achando os jogos e tudo mais. Uma coisa bem legal, um serviço bem legal para quem gosta de games. Aí eu vou deixar o arroba dele aqui embaixo. Qual que é o arroba mesmo?
É o Seattle Games.
Então a gente deixa aqui embaixo. Entre em contato com ele se você quer alguma coisa. Enfim, o Fábio, ele é bem... não é fácil, tá? Ele vai tentar entender quem você é, tentar entender seu perfil, para ver se vale a pena, para ver se é uma boa
a situação
parceria. Né?
É uma situação de dupla mão, né?
Parceria,
eu sou um cara bem direto. É isso que ele quis dizer. Tanto eu fui direto com o NT já. O NT já falou isso uma vez.
Foi por isso que a gente acabou ficando amigo.
Ele perguntou um jogo para mim, eu falei, cara, eu não vou conseguir achar esse jogo. É isso aí, eu falei para ele até, ó, mas faço no eBay.
Exato. E
eu fui no eBay. Ele foi no eBay e comprou. E hoje a gente tá aqui. Então, assim, vocês têm que entender que ser direto não é que eu não quero vender. Às vezes é que não dá a situação. Às vezes você quer um jogo só e é mais fácil, literalmente, você ir pro eBay.
Muito mais fácil. Né? Muito
e
mais
eu também queria falar que eu não faço envios. Quem faz envios é a parceira minha, que é a Zip4Me.
Exato.
É a empresa que faz os envios. Então, os clientes contactam a Zip. E eu faço uma videochamada, passam o nome da Zip para mim, lá o nome de cadastro, e aí a gente parte disso.
Eu acho que esse que é o principal. Não é uma coisa simples e é uma coisa bem estudada e uma parceria bem ampla. Até porque ele tem que confiar nas pessoas que ele não conhece. Né,
sim,
Fábio?
sim.
Senão,
porque eu tô aqui na feira, eu tô comprando, eu coloco meu dinheiro. Então, e eu faço negociações. Então, vários clientes hoje meus, eu consegui negociar alguma coisa. Né? O preço não é o preço que está nas mesas. Às vezes a gente consegue negociar. Claro que tem coisa que não dá, mas a maioria a gente tenta conversar. Exato. E essa é a minha ideia, fazer essa ponte com os colecionadores.
Exatamente.
Vendedor aqui.
E aí ele conhece tanta gente que eu falei, não tem parceiro melhor para fazer esse buff. A gente fez o ano passado, acabou, era um NT buff, né? E agora virou o Brasil buff, porque a gente virou parceiro aí com outras pessoas aqui que estavam envolvidas, né?
Também.
Aliás, um abraço pro Rambo, que a Vinha acabou não vindo, né?
O nosso amigo Rambo, fez falta.
Exatamente. Bom, para finalizar, o que você acha de ter essa parceria com o pessoal daqui? Você acha que é um negócio de amizade mesmo, porque esse mundo é pequeno de retrogame e um confia no outro, ou você acha que é muito interesse comercial?
Não, não é interesse comercial, eu falo de coração, eu não faço isso por dinheiro, o que me move aqui realmente é a amizade das pessoas.
Exato.
Toda a comunidade retrogame de Seattle e região, Portland, Seattle, é uma comunidade muito unida.
Exato.
Aqui a gente não tem uma concorrência que um quer vender mais barato que o outro, ou pôr mais caro. Não, aqui se você não tem um jogo, você fala, olha, eu vi naquele booth lá, eu vi aquele jogo.
Exato.
Vai lá e compra lá. Então a gente sempre tenta ajudar um ao outro. Aqui é uma comunidade muito aberta, né? Ao mesmo tempo é um nicho. Se a gente começar a minar esse nicho, não sobra nada. Então aqui é o contrário, a galera sempre tenta se ajudar. E esse é o intuito meu também, é ajudar.
Né? Você acha que o retro gaming tá acabando?
De forma alguma.
Tá vendo, gente?
Esse mundo só aumenta.
Exato.
Ele muda de mão, então é um mercado que se move muito.
Exato.
Ele só vai parar se ele parar de se mover.
Exato.
Então é uma coisa cíclica, você não pode quebrar essa roda.
Exatamente.
Você não pode não querer vender um jogo ou vender um jogo muito caro, não sei o que, dificultar, porque isso vai atrapalhar o mercado.
Isso vai ser ruim.
Então aqui você vê muita oferta. A feira, nós estamos exatamente a 1 hora de fechar a feira. A feira fechou, outros vendedores vão vir aqui e vão fazer oferta, vão querer comprar lote. E o mesmo lote que eu não vendi, esse lote vai para outra loja, às vezes, de, sei lá, Cincinnati, vai para Kentucky, vai para outro lugar e vai vender lá. Então é um mercado que muda muito, mas ele está muito longe de parar, muito longe de parar.
É isso aí. Bom, se você gosta dessa feira, recomendo, acho que é a maior feira dos Estados Unidos. Tem outras coisas acontecendo, claro, mas essa feira aqui é a que todo mundo todo mundo quer vir. E, de novo, entre em contato com o Fábio se você quiser algum serviço daqui.
Exatamente.
Valeu, Fábio.
Muito obrigado, parceria sempre.
Conseguimos. Fizemos o nosso podcast. Valeu! Bom, agora, NTZada, eu trago para vocês na íntegra o painel do NTGames Brasil, falando sobre Tectoy, na maior feira de videogames do mundo, a Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2024. Um grande abraço ao meu amigo Adam Korlek, a todo mundo da organização da feira que fez isso acontecer, e eu espero muito ano que vem voltar para falar mais sobre o mercado brasileiro. Nessa feira tem muita gente interessada e eu acho que dá para falar de mais coisas. Quem sabe falar mais dos clones, né? Então, quem quiser assistir, é só continuar aqui, está na íntegra, ative a legenda para você ouvir em inglês e ler em português. É com você, NT. Alright, guys, thank you very much for coming. You don't know me, you know this guy. I am NTGames. I do have a channel in Brazil, and we talk about a lot of video games. And the reason that I'm here, that I talk with Adam about it, is can we talk about Tectoy on that big show over there?
I think that would be fun. Yeah, but for those who don't know me, my name is Adam Korlick. I'm a retro gaming YouTuber. Covering this stuff for a lot of time, and no matter how many weird things I've had access to, like, I don't know if anybody saw my panel yesterday, we had the Sega Pluto, we had the Nintendo PlayStation prototype. Despite all that, Brazil remains an enigma. So it's fun to see all this stuff that I will sadly never get to own. But it's fun to see it here in front of us, and we'll talk all about it.
Sure, yeah, I connected with Adam like 2-3 years ago. I have a show, a podcast. It's all in Portuguese, but with him, he was my first one in English, and we did that together. It was great, it was amazing. It was just on Spotify, it was not even on YouTube. And now he's on YouTube, and he came again this year to do and talk more about Tectoy. So because of that, I said, okay, let's talk about what happened in Brazil. You know what happened here in the US, but in Brazil was totally a different story. And that's why we are here. So I don't know if you came to my booth. We have a booth here, myself and Fabio, the Seattle Games here. And we talk a little bit about that over there. You can also play the games over there if you go there. But I want to go deeper on the story. So this is why we're here and talking about it. So why, what if I tell you that Sega in Brazil had a different name? Sega was there for sure, but Tectoy was more famous than actually Sega, which is crazy. And I'll tell you why. Master System is still actually a system over there running. So if you go to any department store in Brazil, you can buy a Sega Master System, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's a fun little fact of history that technically the Sega Master System is the longest lasting console in history. Launched in 1983, it is still active in 2024, officially licensed and endorsed by Sega. because of Brazil.
Exactly, it's insane. And there's different versions, and that's why we're talking here. So there's a lot of Sega Master System 3. I don't know why it's so many 3 versions. And also you do have the Sega Genesis that calls Mega Drive there.
Master System 3, I mean, at this point it would be like Master System 704.
Exactly.
Like it's a lot.
Yes, yeah. All right, so who I am. As I told you, I consider myself a podcaster more than a YouTuber. I'm not even close to be a big YouTuber, but I love to talk about games. So that's why I consider myself a podcaster. From Brazil, live in the US for 13 years. I'm a marketing person, totally not related to video games, but this is my passion, and I keep actually talking about games because I love it. This is my podcast. If you follow me on Instagram, at NTGames_Brazil, you're gonna have all the information. Had a lot of people there, including Adam. You can see his picture here. But
which was unauthorized, by the way. I'm letting it go.
Yeah, I'm selling here. Come on.
No, I'm making comedy.
Exactly, I know. A lot of famous people from Brazil also was in the show, so it was very great, very helpful. Fabio is the next one. Okay, so you know Master System, right? So this was my first console. That was my first system. So actually, it was not myself who loved video game at the time. It was my brother. And he was the one who asked for my mother to a Nintendo. And then that's what she gave to us. And we're like, okay, that sounds about right, but it's not exactly what we wanted. And then we discovered a different world because we used to live in a big condominium. Everybody had Nintendo. We were the only one with Sega. And it was like, okay, this is different. We cannot trade cards with anybody else because that doesn't work, right? But that's an official piece of Sega over there. It's crazy. This is my first game also, RC Grand Prix. Have you ever played this one?
No.
No, okay. Totally like an RC.
Growing up in the US, it was like, what's a Master System?
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
that's the big problem over here.
It's like a Pro AM game, so kind of the same idea.
Sure.
Yep. Okay, this is the beast. So this is the Master System 2024. Yeah, can you imagine that? We have one here. And you can buy that in my booth, by the way. But anyways, we have the system here. It's totally just games on the hardware now. You cannot put any cartridges over there. And I would say the image is not good at all. But anyways.
You're a great salesman.
Exactly. It's still AV.
Look, it comes with 132 games. It's totally worth it.
But
And the box comes pre-opened.
Yes. Not famous games. Yeah. Anyways, if you want a piece of the history, that's what it is. That's why I keep talking to people, because it's crazy that we still have that with PS5 and Xbox over there on the very, very latest generation. But there was a lot of interactions, as I said to you. So this is going to be backwards, right? So we started with this one that I just showed you, and you can see that every year, well, not every year, but a couple of years, you can see some interactions of the system. So starting, if you go back, you actually have a handheld that you can just plug in exactly the same games that you can see here. They don't actually renew the games. It's the same game.
It's the same 132 games over and over.
Forever.
Again. Yeah.
But you have different interactions.
To be fair, there are actually, I was looking at the back of the box, there are actually some legit titles here. So you have like your Sonics and you have...
Sonic's there.
Yeah, Alex Kidd and everything. Yep. But then you have a bunch, I can't read because they're in Portuguese, but like, yeah, a lot of, there's some real stuff on this thing. Because again, it's all licensed. You know, this isn't like one of those pirate Nintendo 1001 cards. Where it's like, Super Mario Brothers or whatever.
Exactly. So it's still licensed by Sega. So you can see that the shell of the Master System 2 was used a lot in different interactions of it. And you can see one here. This one is the 2006 one. Doesn't have a cartridge slot anymore.
Yeah, so this is funny. So you guys remember the Master System Model 2, everything? So Tectoy basically didn't have the money to basically change stuff out, but they want to get rid of the cartridge slot, but they left the lid, so it's just this giant gaping hole that leads to nothing. But this still works, and this is officially licensed and released. Part of the Infinite Master System 3 collection.
Exactly.
It's always 3. I don't know why, but always 3.
I talked with the former CEO of Tectoy in my show over there, and the reason that they were actually keeping that shell is because of cost. So the idea was to have the Master System being selling also always for $199, always $199. So it keep going $199, but you have to remove things from inside because otherwise you don't keep that price in that level and you don't have any margin of it, right? Including the cartridge slot, which is crazy. You can put one here, like if
you can, yeah, it's got pins in there. You could clearly do it yourself.
Yes, you can actually put that back on. But anyways, I think you don't need it. I have
great salesman again.
Exactly, yeah, you don't need it.
Again, this is for sale at my booth. You don't need it.
It's a piece of art. Keep that in mind. It's just that, right?
It's a piece of something.
Exactly. 2004, they actually had the last one with the card slot. It's in the booth also. You can see that over there. All right, still going back. You can see, right? Until we have a very unique one on 1994.
There are literally 6 up there called Master System 3.
Exactly, I told you. It's all about the 3.
It's always the trilogy. I don't know.
In 1994, we had a portable one. I had that in my booth, but it was sold yesterday.
The one you sold me last year too.
No, that we had.
Yeah, this Master System Super Compact. I'm just going to chime in here. So, do you have a photo of it up here?
I do. I'm going to talk more about it.
Oh, it's there? Okay. Yeah. Oh, then you just go ahead.
Yeah.
Go for it.
No.
All I was going to say is, that was one of the ones I really wanted because it wasn't just like the recycle of the shell, it wasn't emulation. In 1994, which if there's actually a whole museum too right there, craziest year in video game history. On top of that, Sega, for all the hardware they made, they officially made an exclusive portable Brazilian Master System with no screen. And the idea was that it would just either you could connect it through RF, which was PAL RF, it's like the epitome of useless, or you could broadcast it wirelessly, which is still very useless. But it's one of those really unique pieces of Sega history, and it only came out in one country. That's why I love Sega. They were out of their minds.
Always.
Always.
The Sega Jet, is that the name?
The Sega Mega Jet. It's the same idea, but specifically for Brazil only and the Master System, not the Mega Drive.
Yeah. And they go more crazy about that, and I'm going to show you how. But they can do that. This is the Master System 1. So going back to 89 when everything started, that's the one that you actually had in US. But the 2 for us, the only difference is because we had the Alex Kidd on the hard drive. And why they keep doing that? It's because they want to maximize the potential of the console as much as they can, or sell more and more and more variations of the same console, right? So when you have the second one here that is the same of the shell on the 3 one, kind of this one, we had the 2, but it was exactly the same shell of the first one. So very Sega-driven, crazy way to do it, right?
Yeah, so basically he's saying our Master System 2 looked like this, and their Master System 2 just looked like our Master System 1, and their Master System 1 also looked like the Master System 1. And then as we've said, there's 4 million Master System 3s.
See, now it's much more clear, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Translator.
Exactly.
English to English.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the scenario in US for the 80s. I think you guys
I like this map like we got going on here. It's very colorful.
I think you know a lot about this. On
Geography,
US,
yeah.
83. So
oh, sorry, what?
How was the market in 83 here?
It's called the video game crash. Some of you probably heard of it. It's like a whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I explaining everything that was happening here. You know what happened with Atari, you know what happened with the ET cartridge and all this. So that was the craziness happening here about the video game, right? But what about Brazil? Brazil was the opposite way. It was all about good stuff for video games because we're looking for how can we do that in a different way, right? Only caveat of that is the industry there also had some, how do I call this? There was some limitations. And the limitations coming from the government was like, if you want to actually be a company selling Brazil, you have to be represented by somebody else, locally, right? That opened for different conversations with different companies inside of it, so they can actually represent Sega, represent Nintendo, and all this.
So, just so, can I?
Please.
So there's some countries where occasionally they're like, we only want local companies to release products. So, for example, like in South Korea for a long time when Japanese products went in, they weren't allowed to be like the Sega Saturn. They had to partner with someone else like Samsung, Korean. That's how you get weird stuff like the Samsung Saturn. So for Sega to go into Brazil, they have to partner with some Tectoy. For Nintendo to go into Brazil, They have to partner. Well, we'll get to it. But what's the name of the company?
Gradiente.
Say that again.
Gradiente.
Yeah, trust me, that's a weird one. That's a weird one. You're going to hear about that soon. But that's the point. Local laws requires them to do, I don't know, appropriation to the culture, and that because of the unique nature of how Brazil works, that's how you end up with a lot of weird stuff. But all right, carry on.
We didn't have any cars from US, cars from Japan. It was all local cars. It's different way to live. We didn't know about it. We were very influenced by the American influence, and anything that we looked for the US was like, oh, that's amazing. That's the reason why I am living here, because I was raised by my father saying, you have to work in US someday. So find a company there, work for them, and then move to US and keep moving. So that's how I was raised, myself and my brother. So how the influence of US was crazy for us. So moving forward, I want to talk about the clones, right? So that's what happened when you start to limit people to do something, right? I think everybody was a teenager here, so I think you know what I'm talking about. So if I have 3 kids.
Was anyone here ever not a teenager?
Yeah, let's see.
Just making sure. Because it's a Benjamin Button thing if we got that going on. All right. No, I think everybody was at one point. Okay, cool.
So the idea was, okay, I cannot be represented by somebody because I couldn't. So let's create my own console, or let's copy from somebody else, right? So a lot of clones start to happen, starting from the Atari 2600. And I have one here, that's the Dactari from Dactar. I have Brazilian friends here in front of me, so I can see that their face.
It's caught on that cable there.
Oh, okay.
All right, cool.
Keep talking. So you can see the shell, right? The shell is exactly the same, but it's branded.
It's got this weird like logo in it.
Exactly.
It almost looks like this is going to be a really obscure reference. Generation 2 Decepticon 1990s logo. And it's for some reason has some Japanese writing on it, even though it's Brazilian. And then Portuguese, of course. That part's the only part that makes sense. Made by Milmar?
Milmar, exactly. That's a company, right? If I'm not wrong.
I'm just fascinated.
Creating this officially, but because they find some way in the law to actually put that in the market, and nobody was. Remember, the government from there just wants the industry to grow in all the directions. So they will not limitate so much people to do crazy stuff. That's a very good example of it.
In other words, piracy. That's cool.
Yeah,
go for it.
I never said that.
No, not officially. No, but we just said it's not.
Never said.
It's like saying weed is, decriminalized.
Exactly. So
piracy is decriminalized. Go nuts.
Which is funny, when you were a kid, you didn't know about that, right? So you just have a friend that has kind of the same Atari that you have, and was like, does that work on yours? Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so we can exchange. We didn't know if it was a different console or not. It was just like something that works for you, works for me, let's keep playing, right? That's how it was. So then some of the companies actually got official selling there, right? So as I told you, if you get somebody representing you, you can actually sell over there. So Atari was with Polyvox.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's the same of Gradiente, if I'm not wrong. It's the same owner. So Gradiente was actually starting with the Atari officially over there. The other way for you to have is if somebody that you know fly to US, ask them to bring one for you. But there is a caveat to that. The TV has a different...
we use NTSC, they use PAL-M specifically.
So then you play black and white. And you play black and white, you don't care. Like, doesn't matter. You keep playing black and white, and that's totally fine. We did, all the Brazilians know here that we did that a lot. Yeah. The Odyssey, we call the Odyssey 1, and here is the Odyssey 2, right? Mm-hmm. Philips actually was representing them in Brazil. And then Sharp had them in television. Being honest, I never saw Odyssey when I was a kid. I never saw in television when I was a kid. It was all about the Atari. So Atari was the biggest thing over there at the time. You can see all the press talking about video games in '83 because, okay, it's Natal means Christmas over there. So you can see your electronic Christmas is starting right now for you. So you keep poking your mother to buy something for you. That's how was that Christmas at that year. Let's talk about Tectoy now, finally. All right. So Daniel Daskal was the former president. Unfortunately, he's not with us anymore. He had a cancer, but this guy was a very visionary. So he had like Tech Toy, a company just selling toys, and he decided to be more like electronic driven. So he wants to bring electronics for the kids through his company. So the first one that we got over there, and I just shortened up the story, was the Pense Bem. Pense Bem actually was sold in Brazil by the in US by the Smart Start from VTech. So it's a different version of it. It's much better, I will tell you, because you have so many more books. You have so many more different interactions with the system over there that I had one when I was a kid. My mother bought it right away, like, you're gonna be smart. Please use this. You're gonna be very, very smart. And we played a lot with that, but that was kind of our first technological toy, I would say, for us in Brazil.
I mean, literally, it's a tech toy.
Yeah, it's a tech toy, yeah. Visionary, I told you that, right? All right, so in '88, the goal was the brand to prepare the kids for the 2000 generations, as I told you, right? So that was his goal. So they tried Nintendo, guess what? Didn't happen. So they tried Sega with the Zillion. Do you know about the Zillion? Zillion was very famous in Japan. Does anybody know about Zillion here? Yeah, very famous in Japan. It was kind of a tag gun for kids. So they decided to launch this in Brazil. What they did, they talked with Global, the biggest network that we have over there. I think it's the 4th in the world. Those guys are very powerful. And they launched like a cartoon every Saturday morning. You could actually watch the Zillion cartoon. They created this cartoon to sell more this type of guns over there. And sold a lot. So they never sold so much in Japan as they were selling in Brazil. So that was the beginning of the partnership between Tectoy and Sega. They try other, Tectoy try to actually get Atari, it didn't work. Tonka actually did Sega Master System here in the US.
Yes, Sega did it initially. It wasn't doing well. They licensed it to Tonka, who started seeing success, and then Sega took it back.
Exactly, because they were like, no, we're not licensing anymore. And that was actually affecting Tectoy partnership, because they were like, Tonka is not working. We're not going to do that in Brazil. Why? So then there was a big no from Sonic. But then Gradiente, the other company, went to the dark side of the force when you're talking about Sega, right? So they launched the Phantom system.
This is truly a strange piece of history. Go ahead.
Yes. You can see the shell. Can you, do you...
well, you know what, let's quiz, wait.
Yeah.
Quiz the audience. Yes. Who thinks they know what this is, other than the Brazilians?
Yeah.
Okay, we got a couple hands. You wanna, somebody take a guess, go ahead.
Is that Atari 7800 shell?
You're close. I mean, it is a shell, but what, do you want to just tell them? Should we tell them?
What it is?
Yeah, well, do you want to just do it?
Nintendo?
Okay, so this is sort of, actually sort of, keyword sort of, I can't stress that enough, an officially licensed NES. So to my understanding...
Official in quote.
Yeah, that quote is key. Because Nintendo basically expressed interest in getting into Brazil, and all they really understood is they didn't understand Brazil. So they essentially were like, Brazil, you do Brazil, but, you know, release the NES. And in true Brazilian fashion, they're like, well, we've got, like, to my understanding again, we've got surplus Atari 7800 shells. Let's put an NES in that. And the best part, it shipped with Sega Genesis controllers. So it's all three. Yeah, and so Nintendo kind of panicked. So the cartridges, they have like, what's the name of the version of Mario in this?
Superior Mouse.
Yeah, it's Superior Mouse.
Yeah, Superior Mouse means very nice brothers.
Yeah, it's got this like coked out version of Mario on the cover. It's very weird. So Nintendo didn't really allow it anymore, but Activision, that's why this is an actual Ghostbusters title, Activision was all in. So all their games are actually like real. So hence quotes, real NES, because Nintendo said yes, then was like, oh my god, no, but Activision already had done it. So the Phantom, a truly bizarre piece of Brazilian and technically Nintendo history.
And that was my first Nintendo. Which is crazy.
I mean, think about it, they modified it, it's an NES cartridge slot on top.
So Nintendo was, they were not official, but they closed their eyes. Like, it was weird, because it was like, they were doing that officially, a big company over there, but not actually representing what Nintendo really wants. So that was we call that as official clone, because it was a clone, and it was competing through Sega and through Master System. That's why I say the dark side of the force, because they try to actually do Sega. Sega said no to Gradiente, so they went to this way to do video.
And they still made their controllers anyway.
Exactly. Yep. How? We'll never know.
Brazilian laws.
Exactly. Yes. So you can see the other official clones.
Oh, I forgot it came with a Master System light gun too.
Yes, there's the light gun, and this is the game that came together. So that's the bundle. So you can see the controllers over there. There are also 2 other companies that were doing Nintendo. So CCE, very famous company in Brazil. These consoles always went to the, you had that one? Always went to how do you call when you fix, you go and send somebody to fix for you? Like an office or?
To repair?
To repair,
oh, yeah.
Always went to repair because it was always burning something inside of this console, always. I didn't bring mine because I was afraid that something's gonna happen.
Like the air pressure on the flight will just break it. Yeah.
I live in Colorado, so I was like, I don't wanna mess with that. Yeah. So I have this one. I showed that in the show for you. And then the Dynavision. This is the Dynavision 1 that you have here. This is the 4. This is the 4th version of it. Look at the cartridge.
All right, wait.
Yeah.
What console do you think this is?
It's an NES, and that looks like it's just the shell around the PCB, and that's it. No more.
Yeah, you're basically right, except it's 60-pin. It's a Famicom cartridge. Yeah, Brazil.
So you. Exactly. The turbo game, you can see on this picture here, but you can choose if you want 6-pin or 72 pins. You can choose on the system. This one you had to buy an adapter. This adapter that we had to play NES games was very famous, and you have to have somebody to borrow you, because you never buy anything, or you find somebody else producing one. I would say that. Yeah, that's probably the way. So do the relationship with Tectoy and Sega, they were allowed to do, and because of Zillion, they were allowed to actually launch Master System, going back to Tectoy. So the press at the time was treating this the biggest launch after VHS, right? So you can see how the Nintendo was not there. You guys had the NES here very strong. That was not so strong to us. We didn't have that feeling that you guys have. Yeah, exactly. Nintendo is something. It's crazy. So I don't think the link will work here, but I'll show you some videos later. We did have a lot of Sega influencing through the TV for us. So they actually had the Master Dicas, that means tips from Master System. So you have to turn your TV, I think it's 5 p.m. every day, if I'm not wrong. So you can actually have 5 minutes, 10 minutes of tips about games. Oh, if you cannot actually go to this level, watch this show, might help you.
We call that walkthroughs on YouTube now.
Exactly. It's very familiar, right?
Yeah, we're old, you know.
Exactly. Big guys on TVs, this guy here, the blonde guy here, very, very famous. He was actually giving a TV show just for video games. It was all new for us. Video games was actually getting a lot of space, which is amazing. The hotline works there over there also for Sega. So we did have the hotline, and you call them and ask, oh, how can I do this, how can I do that, and they help you. There was a lot of adaptations of games. So official games from Sega adapted to Master System. So two ways to think about it, right? So you have mods, you know mods. So official mods, so like for example, Monica, this last one here that is very pop culture in Brazil, that was the Wonder Boy. So the same game of the Wonder Boy, and he was carrying a sword. Monica carries bunny. So the only request from the creator of Monica was like, Monica cannot never actually hold a sword because it was for kids. So can you put the bunny on her hand? And then they did.
So she smacks people with a bunny?
Yes.
Okay. I just like the visual. This is my pet.
Yeah, she was very strong. Yeah, because it's a how do you call it? Cartoon magazine?
A comic book?
Comic book?
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
that's Charlie Brown for us. So it's a comic book, very famous in Brazil, and they decided to do a video game for her. She is very strong, and she always hit the boys. That's how it was. Every time that they were actually making jokes about her. That's how it is. Different TV shows also, like TV Colosso was a big show of dogs, but like Barney, the dinosaur, we had the dogs. So kind of the same show that we had here, they had a video game for it. So every single pop culture piece, they created something through Tectoy from Sega. You have exclusive items in Brazil, then we have the Street Fighter here that was like the biggest crazy stuff. Actually, there was a very good story that I want to tell you, because they said, okay, we want to have the Street Fighter on Master System. Sega said no, it belongs to the Genesis, right? So they actually, they was produced by Brazilian designers, and they actually, when they have a meeting with the Sega Japan, when they actually flew to Brazil, they put the game without showing the console. And then they start the meeting, and then they were like, why you are showing us Street Fighter 2? We know this game. Like, because, well, this is on Master System, and they love it. They were like, oh, that's amazing, okay. Just launched it in Brazil. Now it's a piece of art, it's hard to find. So
extremely.
Yeah, very extremely hard to find. You can see some of the screenshots here, and you can go to the booth. I put the game over there, and you can play. Yeah. Booth 603.
It's easier to just look for the giant Brazilian flag.
Oh yes, we have a Brazilian flag over there. It's good that people doesn't look up. So they were like, why is that? Why this is all from Brazil? I was like, this is the flag of Brazil, so we are representing something.
And the name of the booth is literally Brazil Games.
Exactly. Just look up.
I'm sorry, our people are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like
So some of the variations here, as I told you, so the first one included Safari Hunt and Hang On, and you actually had that secret password that you can play the other game, like the maze game.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You know? So that happened also on our system in Brazil. The first one came with the glasses, with the pistol, with everything, and one or two controllers. It was two controllers. With everything in one piece. Now you have to buy DLCs. It's so great. I hate today. I hate how it is.
On a simpler time where we only had 48 Master System 3s.
Exactly. Master System 3. Oh, look at how many variations we had. So, in Sonic, in Alex Kidd was always there. There was a soccer. The football is soccer for us, so there was a soccer because of the '94 World Cup that was here in the US. So that was the launch for that World Cup in Brazil. Do you know who won that World Cup?
I barely know the World Cup's a sport. Like it's soccer, right?
Yes.
I'm an American. I'm not allowed to know that.
Brazil won. Yeah.
Oh, no wonder you brought it up.
Not of course anymore. Brazil is sucking so bad. Yes. It used to be so good. Now we don't have even soccer anymore. So crazy. All right, so that's the one that is the compact that we talk about. And there is one variation here. Can somebody tell me?
One of these things is not like the other.
Exactly. There is a girls version. Why? Because girls has to play video games. So why not put a pink console together so she can play? 80s people. That's how 80 was. So crazy stuff. 80s.
94.
I mean, but it's that culture, right? That culture. So the only way for girls to play is on a pink console. Why? It's dummy, but they did that. And actually, now it's very rare.
Yeah. It's a hard one to find.
It's very hard to find, yes. All right, so handhelds. And the one that you like the most.
Oh, of course.
Actually, we had handhelds. The Tiger one was actually licensed by Tectoy also, so we had a lot of these mini games over there. Game Gear was launched in Brazil also, but Game Boy was much more popular. And Game Boy was a thing in Brazil. Can you explain that from Nintendo? It's crazy.
Yeah, portability.
Yeah. And then the Saturn, right? Saturn was always so expensive. So for you to understand, for us to play video games, you have to rent some time on the rental places. When you go to actually rent a game, Blockbuster kind of it, but it's small, like mom and pop's Blockbusters. So you rent an hour so you can play games that you cannot own because it was too expensive. Sega Saturn was that. So to you play, we had that in Brazil, but it was very, very, very expensive.
So this is kind of a funny one. So it's, we took it apart just to see like what was different inside. All they really did is they branded it on the bottom by just saying Tech Toy. They got rid of like all the licensing stuff from Sega, just put Brazilian things. On the back, they kind of did the same thing. We took it apart. It turns out it's just an American Saturn. They like kind of quickly soldered together to slightly alter the power supply, and like they did. It's very Brazilian on the inside. Just we're gonna okay, it's Brazilian now, but really it's basically just an American unit. They were just customizing for that market.
Yeah, and it's all the state that did that for us in Brazil is the one that has the Amazon forest. So that state was very known by the one who assembled things for us, not just electronics, but everything that you can imagine. Like all the manufacture was coming from that specifically state. So they were assembling Tectoy or Sega over there.
Yeah, they also had other variations. This is based on the Japanese Derby one. This one is also exclusive to Brazil as well. So it's the same kind of deal. They just kind of stamped a sticker on the back and on the bottom, and then inside just kind of little slightly alter it, and it's no longer Japanese, now it's Brazilian. But it's pretty cool. This is the harder one to find.
94 also we launched the Master System, the Mega Drive 3, which is the Sega Genesis 2 for you. Exactly.
Hardwired cable. Good idea.
Oh, that's about cost.
Yeah, it always is.
A little bit. And the one that I never saw when I was a kid, there is the, how do you call it? I always forgot the name. The last one that has the Sega CD.
Oh, Sega CDX?
Sega CDX, exactly. So we had that one I never saw when I was a kid. Yeah, right? I have a version of Tectoy now, but it was not easy to find. Dreamcast was also launched over there.
Oy.
Adam really wants one.
I really want a Tectoy Dreamcast.
I'm trying to find one for him. It's being hard. Fabio, we have a quest to do.
Yeah, so the thing with the Tectoy Dreamcast is it launched relatively around the exact same time as the North American launch. It's basically just the American system but running PAL-M, and it had its own line of like Brazilian games initially, but it was just the thing is it's just the American discs. So like the outer packaging says Tectoy on it, it's all written in Portuguese. And I know a lot of you guys speak English, but I imagine anybody who didn't bought that and was like, oh, it's all in Portuguese, it's in my language. You take it home, it's just an American disc, and you're like, it's not in Portuguese, I can't play this.
It's much better now, but the majority of Brazilian doesn't speak English. So you have to localize everything always. So even movies, we had different names of movies. So I was talking with friends here and they were like, what are you talking about? I tried to translate the name of the movie. It doesn't make any sense for you guys as a different name. So a lot of the regulations and all this make us doing in a different way, but always has to have Portuguese somehow on the boxes or in any other places. More variations of, I want to show you because it's so funny, right? So you can see how many variations we do have for the Master System. It's beyond insane, right? And I talk about this guy already in the beginning, but you can see some of the specs here in the how we have a Master System that actually just have 2 buttons with a controller of 6 buttons because they were using the same shell of the Mega Drive.
It's cheaper to keep the buttons on there than to design a new controller.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, I think that's actually what this deal is right here.
Yep. In Tectoy, it's just in the on the other side.
Yeah, just casually says Tectoy on the back. It's in the plastic though, it's not a sticker. Basically the Genesis, 6-button controller.
So that's the longest lived system in the world because it's still ongoing. If you go now on Tectoy website, you can buy one. We just saw it.
Yeah, they're still very readily available, but they're constantly making new ones.
Tectoy now is representing Atari there with that little one, the little Atari that you have here. We have so many variations of the little one, but has games built in. We have that over there officially from Atari. And this Master System. They have one unique launch from them. It's a system that when they launched it like 2 years ago, they were like, we're gonna beat PS5, we're gonna beat. No, you're not, because this is definitely just one more Raspberry Pi system. And that's what they're selling over there.
Oh, wait,
so,
before we wrap, I know I didn't see a photo of it. Has anybody ever seen the Mega Drive 4? You know what I'm talking about?
And I supposed to.
It's like a white Genesis Model 2, but it comes with a Guitar Hero controller.
Yes. next year I'll bring, so you can see it. Yes.
So it's on my list of like, okay, I kind of think that's worth. Like, is there even a game that supports that?
So it's funny. Well, now it's all built in.
Yeah, but like, what game required a Guitar Hero controller?
They created one game just for this.
They made a game.
They made a game.
Well, there you go, everybody.
Yes.
Got to get that.
It's awful.
No, I'm shocked.
No, I'm just giving you the right thing, right? I don't want to sell something that it's not good for you.
Again, not a good salesman.
I know, but I'm honest. Yes, because you don't come back to me complaining, you know, like this is what you have. I'm just kidding, but the idea is really to show you even the Mega Drive or the Master System, so many variations and always at the same time. So if you have a friend that has a Mega Drive and I have Master System, I didn't know that that was a different generation. It was just a different game. You know, we didn't know about generations. We didn't actually have any information about generations as you guys always had. So it's different mentality of games. Today is totally different, right? So my kids just play Switch all over the place and that's it, and they love. But my son calls the Switch Nintendo. I want to play Nintendo. So for him, there is no NES. There is nothing else than the Switch. Which Switch is a good console, right? I think it's one of the. I mean, for what we have today.
I'm looking forward to the Brazilian Switch clone someday.
Oh yeah. I think we have it, right? Yeah, we have it already. Yes.
5 minutes, everybody.
Yes. Okay. So to wrap up, I want to show you one of the advertisements about the first advertisement of the Master System in Brazil. I want to show you the video here, and then I will open for questions. We just have 5 minutes, but if you want to follow me in any of the social medias, is NTGames _Brazil. Brazil with S. Okay, it's how we
Brazil.
Brazil.
This is easier.
We call Brazil.
I know. I'm just explaining to.
Yeah, you have a good accent.
Oh yes, I have a good accent. Okay.
Who I am talking about the accent. All right, so let me show you the video here. Okay, so this is, if it's too loud, you let me know. Yeah. He's saying that people are getting to us. Let's use the lightsaber pistols to save the world. Look at how dark was it. Look at the light phasers. Look at the glasses. So that was actually filmed in LA. Really, I'm not kidding. They hire some company in LA to actually do this other part of the 3D side. Remember, it's a 3D back in the 80s and beginning of 90s. So it was a lot of money. This advertisement here, but actually,
I mean, they got their money's worth. It's still selling down there.
Yes. And the last one that I want to show you here. This is the compact. It's saying that when it was impossible to launch something better than the first Master System, that's the Master System 3. Yes, a lot of games in the memory. This is the price. 500 million thousand, a lot of money, you know? That's how it was. It's compact even on the price, they're saying. But it was not. Oh, that's the Sonic advertisement. Sonic can be in a lot of places at the same time. Okay, go and grab your Master System before it flies away. So Master System 3 with Sonic. Okay, we're gonna start the craziness here. This is the show that I have, so you have Adam on the show here. Use his image again. Look at you, know this guy?
Yeah, again, I didn't sign off on this.
Yeah, he was over there. All right, so any questions before we finish here? Yeah, for sure.
You did mention that the Master System was price locked to a certain degree. Was that practice also used for the Mega Drive? And did they remove the cartridge slot from the Mega Drive also?
Yes, yeah, they did. So I don't have the one that is removed. This one, that is one of the latest version that has the cartridge slot still, but you cannot put the CD on anymore. Yeah, the CD is out. It doesn't even open.
It doesn't even open. It's like it looks like it would, but I feel like I would break it if I actually tried. Yeah, so it looks detachable.
Yeah, it looks detachable, but
it
if
kind
you
of
open, there is nothing.
It flexes, but it's a little cheap.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
So did the Phantom NES, like, would that play HAL NES, or was there a lot like lockout to just the Brazilian?
It plays any.
It plays NES cards.
Yeah.
With Tectoy, it's about to launch the Zenix. Do you think this means an end of an era for Master System from Brazil?
I think so. They are trying. The company is not owned anymore by the same former CEO, because like Daniel Dascal actually hired. I forgot his name. Help me. I remember his name. So that CEO specifically was very important for make Tectoy who it is now, but he's not there anymore. So now the company was sold for a mobile company. So Tectoy now is getting crazy. They are on the Carnival. So they are not even on related places that's supposed to be like with video games. You have a question, yeah?
Yeah, I know that there's kind of a history of immigration of Japanese people to Brazil. I don't know the Brazilian term, but in Japan they're called dekaseki. I was curious if there's any sort of, whether it's a business formal relationship between Tectoy and Sega, or cultural associations that Brazilian people have with Japanese immigrants.
Yeah, I think it's the second biggest population of Japanese they are in Brazil, if I'm not wrong. I don't know if that actually helped for them to be close, maybe, because there's so many Japanese people over there, but I think the pistol that I show you, the one, the Zenix, I forgot the name of the pistol. Zillion. The Zillion was the key for Sega actually allow us, Brazil, to have the Master System. Yeah, more than anything else. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what are your thoughts on the Zillion?
I want to see it first. You know why? Because there's so many promises for us, always, about something new or something coming. Adam asked me about a lot of stuff. Oh, is that coming from Brazil? I don't know. I mean, I really want to see it.
He has the unfortunate duty of anytime anybody's got a question about Brazil, it's always on him.
Yes.
He's just got to deal with it. He's like, what is everything that is going on in Brazil? And he's like, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, I want to see. I'm very hopeful that we do have that, and it's going to be a good launch, right? Because you put Brazil in the map again. Tectoy always put Brazil in the map. For this world here that we live on games, that's why I'm talking to you, because of Tectoy. So that's why we're so thankful for it, right? But let's see. Yeah.
Could be a new Zeebo too.
Oh yeah,
Zeebo. There's a new Zeebo, right, coming.
People forget that also launched in Mexico.
The new Zeebo is coming, or you're talking about the first one?
The Zenix.
Oh, yes, could be. Zeebo was a very good promise for us. You don't know that? That was the first connected to the internet video game that we have over there, so you can download the games. Now, well, it was the flop for sure. And there was good games there, like the Resident Evil 2. So if you find a Zeebo 4, if you have a Zeebo with Resident Evil 4 on it, a lot of money. You're gonna pay a lot of money for that one. Yeah.
They also have the best Double Dragon ever.
Yeah, the Double Dragon. People talk about the Double Dragon Zeebo, that it's amazing. And it's awesome. Have you ever played? No. Never played.
No, I'm just letting you talk. The idea that there's a lot of people talking about the Zeebo version is okay.
I'll try to find a Zeebo and bring here next year.
How many like Brazilian developed games were there for the Master System? Like not just reskins of existing games.
You mean how many was there?
Or like, are there any like notable ones that you remember?
Duke Nukem for Genesis or Mega Drive?
Yeah. On top of my head, it's hard.
Mortal Kombat 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's a version of Sonic 3D Blast for the Master System. We're being told to wrap it up, so.
Yep, okay. Yep. So again, thank you very much. I hope to be here again next year. Let's talk with Adam. And but make sure that you go by our booth over there. My booth is going to be again here next year. Fabio, we talk about that. We're going to be here again. So thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us.
It was a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, likewise.
Thank you.
Well, just do whatever.
Yes. Isso aí, NTZada, finalizando o vídeo aqui, ó. Dá tchau pros meus parceiros. Tchau, tchau. Acabou mais um ano, até que enfim, mas foi sensacional. Não foi? Foi ótimo. O ano que vem a gente tá junto de novo. Obrigado, NTZada. Não esquece de se inscrever no canal, dá seu like e ativa o sininho para notificações. Tamo junto. E como eu sempre digo, jogue videogame.